In 1941, Princess Elizabeth played Prince Charming and her younger sister Margaret played Cinderella in a royal pantomime at Windsor Castle. Britain was in the middle of the Second World War. Two young girls dressed up and performed anyway. Joy was its own form of resistance. In 1990, Mikhail Kalashnikov and Eugene Stoner met in Washington, D.C. and held each other's rifles. One designed the AK-47. The other designed the AR-15. Between the two of them, they armed the entire modern world. In 1917, a Canadian soldier played his fiddle outside a dugout for his fellow troops. The trenches of World War I were cold and deadly. But someone still brought a fiddle. Some things a man carries because he cannot afford to leave them behind. In 1950, Korean refugees crossed a damaged bridge over a river to escape the fighting. The bridge had been hit by an airstrike. They crossed it anyway. When home is gone, people will walk across anything to find somewhere safe. In 1892, a family posed in front of the Mark Twain sequoia after two men spent 13 days cutting it down. The tree was 331 feet tall and 1,341 years old. It had survived since 551 AD. Two men with saws ended that in less than 2 weeks. In the 1920s, oil derricks covered the beaches of Huntington Beach, California, as far as the eye could see. The oil boom transformed the coastline almost overnight. Nobody called it destruction then. They called it progress. In August 1933, Japanese soldiers wearing gas masks stood guard near the Army General Staff Office during air defense maneuvers in the Kanto region. They were practicing for a war that had not yet begun. 8 years later it did. On March 26, 1945, American soldiers of the 30th Infantry Division advanced near Wesel, Germany, alongside an M24 Chaffee tank chasing retreating German forces. The war in Europe had 6 weeks left. These men did not know that yet. They just kept moving forward. In December 1972, Baron Guy de Rothschild and his wife Marie-Hélène hosted a surrealist ball at their chateau outside Paris. Guests arrived in elaborate costumes, and the evening became one of the most talked-about parties of the century. The rich have always lived on a different planet. On October 27, 1945, warships lined the Hudson River in New York for Navy Day celebrations. The war had ended just weeks earlier. The same ships that fought across 2 oceans now sat still on a quiet river. The world was learning how to be at peace again. Beverly Michaels and Richard Egan posed for promotional photos for the 1953 United Artists film Wicked Woman. Michaels played a manipulative drifter in one of the sharp noir roles a woman was given that decade. Hollywood rarely wrote women that dangerous. She made the most of it. In 1918, soldiers of the White Army stood together in southern Russia during the early months of the Russian Civil War. They were fighting to reverse the Bolshevik Revolution and restore the old order. They lost. And the world they were fighting to save was gone forever. In 1945, a 9-year-old girl named April lifted more than 425 pounds at Muscle Beach in California. The weight was her entire family stacked on her back. She was 9 years old. Nobody thought to question whether that was too much to carry. Around 1945, a little girl browsed postcards at a store while a sign above her head read "Colored people served in rear." She may not have fully understood what it meant. The camera caught it anyway. Children should never have to learn the world that way.